For the world at war, the death of German dictator Adolf Hitler and the end of the Nazi Empire signified a step towards peace. However, not everyone believes that Hitler did die in 1945. But understanding the questions surrounding his death requires understanding what we know, or what we were told.
10 days prior to his death, on his 56th birthday, April 20th, 1945, Adolf Hitler briefly left his bunker in the daylight. On April 29th, Hitler married his longtime mistress Eva Braun, finished his will and his last political testament. In a bunker under the Reich Chancellery building in Berlin on April 30th, Hitler hid while Soviets above searched the ruined streets for him. That day by lunchtime, Hitler had learned that Italian dictator Benito Mussolini and his mistress, Clara Petacci, were killed by a mob and hung outside a gas station in a small Italian village. That day, Hitler had his last lunch, shook hands with the last of his staff, and later in the afternoon, he and his wife killed themselves in a private room deep within the bunker. It's believed that at Hitler's request, his body was quickly cremated near the bunker. It's also believed that the fragments of his remains were seized by the Soviets.
But this is where things get a little confusing. Conflicting reports from the Soviets and those around Hitler at the end contributed to, let's say, suspicious circumstances.
Time reported in their May 1945 issue, quote, Adolf Hitler had been buried, dead or alive, in the rubble of his collapsing Third Reich. Whether or not he had suffered a cerebral hemorrhage, as reported from Stockholm, or had fallen at his command post at the Reich Chancellery, as reported by Hamburg Radio, or was a prisoner of Gestapo chief Heinrich Himmler, Adolf Hitler as a political force had been expunged. Though they go on to question his death as well, saying, quote, if he were indeed dead, the hope of most of mankind had been realized, for seldom had so many millions of people hoped so implacably for the death of one man. It appears the Soviets made room for theories and rumors to spread when they initially claimed they did not have enough evidence to declare him dead. Within a month of World War II's end, a Soviet leader told Harry Hopkins, a confidant of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, that Hitler was still alive. Then Soviet Field Marshal Georgy Zhukov stated that Hitler's body had actually not been found and that he may have escaped. Allied newspapers soon picked up the story, and British tabloids began to state that the body the Soviets had discovered was actually, quote, a very poor double. The Soviets also reported that the mayor of Berlin was, quote, convinced Hitler was alive. The Soviets made this claim so frequently that even Dwight D. Eisenhower suggested Hitler was still alive, though quickly retracted the statement.
But if Hitler didn't die in Berlin in 1945 when and where we were told, what happened to him?
The leading conspiracy theory is that Hitler escaped Berlin via U-boat and hid in Argentina. Soviet leader Joseph Stalin may have allowed rumors of Hitler hiding in Argentina to undermine his fascist enemies. Keeping the possibility of a continuous Hitler threat could have also been a power play in territorial disputes in Germany. Even the American government seemed to believe that Hitler might have survived. The FBI did initially doubt that the remains that the Soviets presented to them actually belonged to Hitler. On top of that, Joseph Stalin, Field Marshal Zhukov, and US General George Patton all seemed to agree that, quote, Hitler got away.
Okay, wait, sorry. So Hitler escaped via submarine to South America? Like some sort of supervillain? No way, right?
Surprisingly, there is credible evidence that Nazis created a bolt hole in Argentina to which many Nazis escaped following the war. Beginning in 1932, Nazis began paying Argentine President Juan Perón a subsidy ensuring that they had refuge waiting for them if needed. Nazi organizations had also purchased real estate in Argentina, including a ranch with a dock that could berth submarines and ships. Additionally, Berlin had an extensive underground subway system that could have allowed for escape. It is also known that Hanna Reitsch, a personal pilot of Hitler, landed a Feisler Stork, a plane designed for transporting messages on people, near the Chancellery grounds. Though she did travel in and out of Berlin between April 26th and April 28th, there's no evidence of her ever having had a passenger. The FBI didn't seem to find the Argentina theory to be so far-fetched either, with documents released by the FBI showing that they did investigate the theory. A document that was sent from Buenos Aires on July 14, 1945, stated that, quote, a source of unknown reliability claimed that, quote, Hitler was landed in Argentina approximately June 20th, that his face was disfigured, and that an Argentinian army major was planning on helping Hitler travel to a, quote, secret hiding place in Chaco territory. The document stated, quote, all rumors being investigated. Another document dated August 14, 1945, stated a Hollywood actor had spoken to a man and had claimed that he had been present when Hitler landed in Argentina 2 weeks after the fall of Berlin via submarine.
In addition to the idea that Hitler fled to Argentina, there are similar theories that he might have escaped to Antarctica, or even the moon. Of course, very little evidence to support either of these theories.
Advancements in science over time have also led to both evidence for and evidence against these theories. Despite intentionally encouraging doubt that Hitler had died, Moscow did hold on to the jaw and teeth recovered in Berlin in May of 1945. In 2018, a study was published by the European Journal of Internal Medicine that claimed to have evidence that Hitler had taken cyanide and took a bullet to the head. The study included an examination of Hitler's teeth. Hitler's false teeth had blue-colored deposits, which indicated a chemical reaction between the metal of his dentures and cyanide. French scientists were given access and did confirm that the teeth recovered matched Hitler's dental record and what was known about Hitler's vegetarianism and gum disease, and in their minds, confirmed his death in Berlin.
As with most conspiracy theories, with evidence both for and against, one will believe whatever they want, picking and choosing whichever evidence supports their interests. And of course, if Hitler were still alive today, he'd be over 133 years old. So, one way or another, his reign of terror has ended.